Good afternoon. Welcome to the forecast discussion for February 17th, 2014. It's currently 1:48 p.m. We have temperatures rising into the mid 20s over the northern interior, upper 20s over the New York City metropolitan area, and upper 20s to lower 30s over the Philadelphia metropolitan area. Our warm location is right around Atlantic City at 36 degrees. Winds are generally from the northwest at 5 to 15 miles per hour. We have another snow threat on the way for tomorrow, but it won't be that bad. Unless you're in northern Connecticut. Around Hartford, you could see around 6 inches of snow. However, further south, it's going to be more of a rain snow mix with some limited snowfall accumulations. I'm going to explain to you why there's going to be a limit in the snowfall accumulations in just a moment. Now, on the radar, this is pretty impressive, okay? Not going to lie, this is a little bit more robust than what I thought it was going to be at this point. And basically, it's a testament to the warm air advection, warm air transport we're seeing coming off of the plains and heading right towards the northern mid-Atlantic. But also, it's also an indication of how strong this disturbance is. That's right around here, right around Missouri and Tennessee and Kentucky and over the southern portions of Illinois. Now, this disturbance and the warm air transport is going to continue to push right towards the mid-Atlantic and basically move right over New Jersey. And because of that transport of warm air, we're going to see the boundary layer temperatures rise, thus the potential for rain and snow for tomorrow morning. On the infrared satellite picture, you can see our low pressure system developing. Now look at all this lifting. This is all because of warm air pushing over a lot of this cold air that's in place. This high pressure system will give way and shift to the east and allow that warm air to invade. Now on the water vapor satellite picture, we could really get a good idea of just how dynamic this disturbance is. And this is why I increased snowfall totals this afternoon for Connecticut. And I'm going to show you the NAM model guides in just a moment to kind of illustrate the different aspects of this forecast. But you can see here we have a very strong dynamic disturbance, and we know it's strong because of the sinking air here. Remember, there has to be a balance in the atmosphere. So if you have a lot of sinking air here, that means there has to be a lot of rising air here. And so you kind of get the idea of just how tightly wound and dynamic this disturbance is as it's pushing towards the northern mid-Atlantic. Now, I want to be very clear here. We're seeing the pattern relax. So you can't exactly expect this disturbance to produce the same type of snowfall that we've seen in other disturbances. I know it's the same type of game here as far as the models kind of picking up a little bit more as far as the dynamic nature of this disturbance as we get closer to the event. But it's a different environment because the pattern overall is kind of basically becoming more zonal. So as a result, this disturbance can't dig and really intensify. It basically just keeps on going along its way and remains a very progressive system. So on the latest GFS model guides, you can see by tomorrow, this disturbance is moving through the region. And when you look at this, and if you just look at 850 millibars, you say to yourself, wow, this looks like a pretty good snow event. However, let's dive into this a little bit more and take a look at the NAM model guides for this time period. So I'm going to jump right to this time period right here. And you're saying to yourself, wow, look at this. I'm going to use my NAM snow map that I'm getting from XYZ source. And I'm going to place it right over here. And New York City is going to get bombed with heavy snow. Because at 850 millibars is cold enough for snow. Here's the problem with that theory. You see at the surface, temperatures are rapidly warming at the surface. Now the snowpack that we have in place keeps the cold air in a little bit longer just north and west of New York City and north and west of Philadelphia, keeping temperatures at the surface around 32, 31 degrees. However, at the mid-levels, let's say about 925 millibars, in between here and here, between 850 millibars where it's snowing from the clouds, and at the surface where it's just barely around freezing, the temperatures at 925 millibars are above freezing. So that means snow is falling through the air here, melting before it reaches the surface. And so what you end up with is a rain-snow mix or a rain-sleet mix not pure snow. Okay? And especially in the case of coastal New Jersey here, where they have very heavy precipitation on the Namalogaons. Couple of things. One, the low pressure system's moving right over you. Two, the surface temperatures. If you really want to go just by what the NAM is showing and saying, I'm going to go with the NAM and go with the heavy snow, temperatures are in the mid 30s, almost upper 30s, almost touching 40 degrees in coastal Monmouth County and Ocean County. Kind of hard to accumulate snow. It might snow from the air, but kind of hard to accumulate that snow when it's 38 degrees. And so that's the problem with going with a heavy snowfall for New York City or Philadelphia or the New Jersey coast. Because although we have very heavy precipitation, much of this is going to be a very wet snow or rain that isn't going to accumulate all that much unless you're on the grass. So it's important to kind of break down these temperatures, especially at the lower levels of the atmosphere, especially in this type of environment where you have warm air, which you can see here, invading and basically driving this cold air out of the region. It's a complicated forecast, no doubt about that, but it's one that you kind of have to take your time and really look at it and break down the whole layers of the atmosphere. Moving forward, again, also for Long Island now, this looks pretty impressive. And on its own, if you just go by 850 millibars, hey, that looks like 7.5 to 10 inches of snow, maybe more. But remember, surface temperatures are 38 to 40. Kind of hard to accumulate snow when it's 38, 40 degrees. Again, this is just if we just go with the Namalogaons. Connecticut, though, northern Connecticut, cold throughout the entire layer of the atmosphere. So therefore, I'm going with a higher snowfall potential in these locations. So that's why I've updated the forecast. In Zone 1, rain-snow mix, trace to an inch, not that big of a deal. Roadways should be generally wet, maybe a few untreated roadways here and there with some snow on it. Zone 2, which covers much of Philadelphia, southeastern Pennsylvania, Allentown, Reading, off towards New York City and much of Long Island. Again, you're in that boundary area, so I'm looking at 1 to 3 inches of snow, mostly on cold surfaces. I think there's going to be a difficulty with a lot of these locations of actual accumulation of this snow on the roadways, considering that temperatures are going to be rising, and this is going to be during the middle part of the day for the most part. The brunt of the storm around noon, higher sun angle, warmer temperatures, a lot going against the heaviest snowfall accumulation here. In Zone 3, going for 2 to 4 inches, cold air holds on a lot longer. And then Zone 4, this is where the snow could really pile up here, 4 to 7 inches of snow for tomorrow. Once that storm leaves, basically we have temperatures rising up into the upper 30s to lower 40s throughout the region for highs. For tomorrow, high pressure will be in control. Could be a few disturbances moving through, a few scattered showers. Not all that bad though. Temperatures in the upper 20s to lower 30s for lows, mid to upper 40s for highs. For Thursday, high pressure in control, scattered cloud cover, much warmer. Temperatures in the mid to upper 20s for lows, mid 40s for highs. Much warmer, much more comfortable. On Friday, we have a cold front approaching the region with periods of rain. Could be a few elevated thunderstorms as well. You have to keep an eye on that ahead of the cold front. I mentioned this yesterday. It's a possibility. If this cold front moves through a little bit later in the day, it looks like that's going to happen. So now we're expecting low temperatures in the upper 30s to lower 40s, high temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. Again, if the cold front moves through a little bit earlier, knock down those temperatures towards 50. If it's delayed, someone could touch 60 degrees with this warm air invading the region. And by the way, with all this warm air invading, watch out for fog, especially in the morning hours. That could be locally dense for Thursday and Friday. Now, once this cold front moves through, high pressure will be in control for Saturday, Sunday, and also Monday with tranquil weather conditions expected. Temperatures pretty much averaging near to slightly below normal. On Saturday, still some of that warm air holding on. So temperatures range from the upper 20s to lower 30s. High temperatures in the upper 40s to lower 50s. On Sunday, temperatures range from the upper 20s to lower 30s. high temperatures in the lower to mid 40s. And on Monday, temperatures range from the mid 20s for lows and upper 30s to lower 40s for highs. That is your forecast discussion for today. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. Have a wonderful day, and as always, stay safe out there.